Okay, this feedback is for student 12051. Your title has all the elements that we're looking for. The author, the work, and a little smiley face trick here to make it sparkle. So you decided for your hook to set a scene. Probably more effective just to lead off with the voles and their adaptation, if that's the point here. This is starting off very broadly. Let's get to the voles and use that as your lead. You can set a scene or paint a picture with them instead. That would be more vivid and more specific in the reader's mind rather than gazing at the cornucopia of species on our Earth. Adaptation is the key to life. Okay. Look, here's your pivot point. You could probably get rid of this right here. George's friendship with the narrator dies because of failure to adapt. Similar to the death of the voles, don't you think that connects more smoothly instead of going from George back to the voles again? The friendship dies because of a failure to adjust. His friendship with the narrator dies because of failure to adapt. So again, it's repetition that we want to avoid here. Keep the introduction nice and tight. CC. Okay, so here's your theme. I believe to live, one must adapt. You have a comma splice here. Failing to do so results in death. This theme is demonstrated in I Don't See George Anymore. Shows this through. That's awkward there. Parents, the cat, and the friendship. Okay, that's set up pretty well. You have your XYZ or your PO. Those are the three images that you're going to use to analyze with respect to evidence for the theme. That's good. Let's just try to smooth this out. It's a little awkward here. And again, this might be due to trying to import the track changes from Microsoft Word into Google Docs. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that one. But if it is kind of bumpy in your final draft, you want to fix it before you revise it and print it out again, hard copy. In hard copy. Alright, good. Nice callback language here. Parents, parents. Even though that says parents cat, we know that that's not the way you typed it. So far, pretty clear alignment between your first topic sentence and your first part of your projected organization. Parents have a strong influence on children. George will never admit to being similar to his parents. We need a transition to get us from this idea to this idea. Okay, so you're talking about the loose ends here, but you never make it clear what the loose ends are or what the loose end is. in this case, it's the cat. So I would suggest that you reorder your paragraphs so that it's clear to the reader what the loose end is before you talk about loose ends here. Here we go. Within the story, the cat demonstrates that to live, one must adapt. CC here. They got too far. That's awkward. Wrong word, I think. Comma splice here. Remember, if you take away the quotation marks temporarily and read the sentence out loud, if it's a grammatically correct sentence, then you know you're in good shape. But here, it's clear that you have two complete thoughts stuck together with that comma. The cat symbolizes the opportunity for George to adapt and change. That's insightful. It certainly is. That is an opportunity for him. Again, you say, unfortunately, adaptation is not an option for George. He cannot adapt, and his ability to adapt leads to the death of his friendship. Yes, and if this were your first paragraph, it probably would connect nicely with this, isn't it? Because he learns this inability to adapt and the focusing on the loose ends through his parents. So I'd recommend that you flip-flop these two paragraphs, and of course smooth out the transitions between them when you do. We need a transition here. Again, the topic sentences, none of them have transitions from one section to the next. The topic sentences work. They certainly align with your thesis, projected organization, but you want to make sure that you smooth them out with transition words like furthermore, therefore, another, not only X but Y, whatever it takes to get from one idea to the next. Wrong word here. Loose is with two O's. Lose is with one O. So lose their innocence and lose friendship, one O. They cannot adapt. Their failure to adapt. Make sure that you are clear on what it is they're meant to adapt to. What are they failing to adapt to? Powerful. Yep. Okay, so we go from this idea right back to the vols. You need a kind of reverse pivot point. Get us from the literature back into the vols instead of just jumping right back into it abruptly with the Gull Island vols from this idea of adapting. Okay, you could do that just by getting rid of that sentence because you have a reverse pivot point right here. Vols receive the same fate as the friendship between George and the narrator. Okay, so you do leave us with something pretty profound and pretty heavy to contemplate there. So overall, well organized, except in terms of what the structure that you promised to use. But I think the order that you actually chose could be improved and help your paper make more sense. Take a look at your hook. You do bring it full circle, which is nice. And you do include quotations. It's just that on the first reference you do need to use the author's last name. So revise and print out a hard copy, and then you're done.